Okay, everyone. First of all, can you hear me? That's always the first question. Can somebody tell me if they can hear me? I know you can't see me at the moment, but can you hear me? Of course, if you can't hear me, you can't say yes, can you? So let me type that in the chat. Can you hear me? I know you can't see me. Awesome. Okay, right. I'm probably going to say this several times. Huge apologies, but tonight's guest seems to have disappeared. I don't know what the problem is. She was online at midday today. We were chatting back then, but she isn't here now. She does have a small child, so it's very possible that she's got some problems and she can't come online. The reason you can't see me is because apparently I confuse open broadcasting system if I try to put the camera on there and on the Facebook calling. But in a minute I'll add myself in so that you can see. Actually, I'll do it now, then you can see that I really am here. Hang on. As you know, open broadcasting system still confuses me. But I will get better at it. But I say that every time, don't I? Okay, there I am. That's me. Hi. I'm on my screen, which is interesting. Yeah, on my screen I can still see whether she comes online or not. But at the moment there's no sign of her, I'm afraid. So, hi Sonic, hi Greg, hi Dog Mother, hi Cynthia, hi everyone. Huge apologies if I've already said, but tonight's guest seems to not be online. Hi Lacey, and I've no idea why. She was around at lunchtime today, but she doesn't seem to be online now. So I'm afraid you're going to get me talking to you instead. Sorry about that. So we can do a Q&A, and Perfume Addict has volunteered to come online on audio only, if we can work out how to do that. So has anyone got any questions? You have an impromptu Q&A because we very sadly don't have a guest, and I'm really upset about that because the lady Maria that was going to come on is really interesting. Maria's married to a Nigerian man, and I don't know how much she wanted to tell you, so I can only tell you the basics. And she has a child with him, and she's very passionate about exposing the scammers and the damage that they do to the reputation of Nigeria, because as she said to me the other day, of course I love Nigeria. I've got a Nigerian husband. My son is half Nigerian. But she's very passionate about... and earlier on today, she sent me a whole load of links, some of them on YouTube, to videos of the Nigerian police arresting scammers. But in each case it was just very small numbers, and she actually said to me earlier on today that she believes there's something like 10 million scammers in West Africa, which is just very sad. So Q&A, come on, has anyone got a question they want to ask, in the absence of our guest, who I don't know where she's gone. I can still see the screen. I can see, because she's on Facebook, so if she comes online there'll be a little green dot beside her name. But at the moment there's not. I wasn't planning to talk to myself for half an hour, because I can do that anyway. That's why I've got a cat, you see, so that I feel I'm not talking to myself, but the cat's fast asleep. So I'm talking to you lot instead. So come on, has anyone got a question? Anything. Ask me what I had for breakfast, or what my favourite colour is. Or just say wow. Or something. Otherwise I really am going to feel I'm talking to myself. Why do women still fall for scammers with a lot of the education we have? Well, that really, of course, is a question for Perfume Addict, isn't it? Interestingly enough, I was talking to another friend of mine earlier on today who did come on this channel, way back, well over a year ago. Hazel, who is a psychologist, and I was talking to her today, and she was saying there's kind of two factors at play, really. One is what Perfume Addict was saying, which is that they get an endorphin rush. So people get addicted, as far as I can tell. Once people have started talking to a scammer, if the scammer is calling them beautiful or handsome or sexy or things that they lack in their life, they get an endorphin rush. If you can imagine that nobody's called you sexy for a long time, or nobody's ever called you beautiful or handsome, and you have self-esteem issues, and suddenly there's this gorgeous man or gorgeous woman online telling you that you're all those things, that's it, thanks Perfume Addict. And you get a high. What we were saying today is that it's as addictive, more addictive than drugs. So in effect, you get addicted to the high that you get when you talk to the scammer. So I don't know. I suppose it is education, isn't it, Marcia? So that people don't get that far through the scam that they become addicted. Why do they keep on trying even when you out them? Oh, well, I think that's because they go over to what I call the Plan B sob story and try to make you feel sorry for them, so they're going to start begging instead. Question, is it always that they are poor, no jobs, or just greedy and lazy? I'll be careful how I answer that one. I suspect it's a combination of all of those. What got you started down the online vigilante path for scams? Oh, well, that's a long story, Eve, but I guess we just looked, no sign of Maria. What got me started? Okay. I used to be an adult education teacher, teaching IT to adults going back 23 years ago when I moved to the county that I live in now. And in those days, if you can remember that far back, people didn't even know that they needed antivirus on their computer. So I used to run a series of workshops for a voluntary sector organisation. And the workshops were called Keep Safe on the Net. And so I registered the domain name Keep Safe on the Net to upload the handouts so that they could access them online. And when the workshops finished, I finished up with the domain name and I turned it into an anti-scam blog. And back in 2012, so 10 years ago, Annie was born, and she just used to reply to various, mainly the 419 type scams, you know, I'm a Nigerian prince or Ghanaian prince and I've got $2 million that you can have. So Annie used to reply to those so that I could put on the blog what it was that the scam, how the scams worked. And then nearly 2 years ago now, in September or October 2020, I guess that is, isn't it? During lockdown, I was bored one day and I literally woke up and I thought, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, as you do. So I did, not having any idea what I was doing. If you look at, I might take the original videos off, but anyway, I had no idea what I was doing. And so I started all the stuff that was on the anti-scam blog, you know, the fake PayPal emails and that kind of stuff, and lots of stuff that nobody was interested in. And then I thought I'll make a video from some of the comments that people have left over the years on Keep Safe on the Net. And that started getting views. And then I don't remember who even was the first scammer that I did as a romance scam, but it was probably someone with Annie. Then I decided I needed some more characters, so I set those up. And then along came Alistair Leslie, God's gift to the channel. That's about all he was God's gift to. And it just took off from there. And, you know, I developed the characters as I went along. And, yeah, it just became a sort of, I don't know, I was going to say a rut I fell into. Perhaps I should say a niche that I developed. I don't know. Does your voice get tired after doing Denise? No, strange enough, it doesn't. Although, I mean, I don't do her constantly, do I? What else? So I'm sorry if I look away when I'm reading the comments. I've got another monitor over here. Marcia said she was a teacher too. She tutored first graders. No, I taught adults. Okay. Have I missed any questions? If I've missed your question, can you type it again? And there's still no sign of our guest. Well, that is really, really sad, because she was going to be really interesting. We'll have to reschedule her for another time, because I have a whole list of questions down the side of this monitor that I was going to ask her, which is very sad. Would you all like Perfume Addict to come on again if we can work out how to get her on audio while we're live and I'm talking to you? They seem to pick characters that are easy to challenge instead of a regular person. Why do you think they do that? Well, I guess they pick people that they think are more likely to fall for their scams. So all my characters are older, and I suppose they think that older men and women are more likely to fall for their scams because they just believe what they're told. I do wonder to what extent they pick them, or whether it's just a question of casting their net very wide and only, some people fall into it and some people don't. I'm not sure on that one. I just love my boyfriend says Denise's voice irritates him. Yeah, well, he's not the only one, is he? I apologise to Marcia's boyfriend. I know Denise irritates a lot of people. I'm sorry about that. I have toned her down quite a bit recently. I had words with her and she'd agreed to be a bit less annoying. I know you've told us a little bit about how you're set up to connect with these scammers. It takes an unidentifiable phone number and accounts through these numbers. Should you also have a separate device? I have a separate. I do all my scam baiting through my laptop. I do have a separate, what we call in the UK, mobile phone, with a separate number which Annie and the characters can use if necessary. It almost never gets used. But if it does get used or it rings, I know it's a scammer because it's no connection with my own phone. On my laptop, I have, hang on, I'll count them up for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different web browsers. One is for my own use, and the other 5 are for the characters. It's the only way I can remember who's who with which browser they're in. And some of them share. They set a wide net. Yes, that's what I think, Dog Mother. I think they just fish for everything and anything, and it's the vulnerable people that stick for, vulnerable for whatever reason they're vulnerable. With other scams, they buy a list of potential victims. Indeed, they do. Certainly for the call centre scams, don't they? The Norton refund scams and the IRS scams and things. What I found recently, quite interestingly, and it probably applies the other way around as well, because my characters are mature women, they seem to be a few fake mature female profiles that have been set up on Facebook as a sort of come on. So you accept a friend request from them. They never interact with you, but suddenly you're getting a flood of other friend requests, all of which say one mutual friend, and that mutual friend is that other account that you befriended. I just had one guy try to scam me. How boring, says Andrea. Oh dear. Wasn't he even funny? I've heard that some scammers in Nigeria have used like black magic to put... Should that be spells, Marcia? Spells on victims. Sorry, yeah, okay, I've read your next one. I suspect they believe that's what's happening. My belief about spells is that they only work if you believe they work. So I think there's some very powerful belief systems at work there, but that's just my personal opinion. On the videos you've posted, it seems none of them are any good at it. Have you come across anyone who's good at being their character? No, Greg. But if you've been watching Marxist John, we know for certain, or I know for certain, that he's had at least one victim, unfortunately, because he tried to get Denise to go to rugby to put pressure on this victim. And I think that's because he was a nasty bully. And I do have this belief that people who have had an abusive background of some kind, and I don't necessarily mean physical domestic violence, but maybe their father was a bully, or they had a brother who was a bully, or somewhere, or someone at school that bullied them, somewhere in their past, they've become conditioned to giving in to bullies. And you also have to remember, when people come on my channel and say, how could anyone fall for that? Well, you're on my channel, so you're kind of predisposed to know that it's all scams. In Africa, they do believe in such kind of stuff. Indeed, they do, Andrea, which is why I've had to retire Serafina, the spiritual lady character. I might set up another one, but she never gets friend requests these days. Dogmother says, oh, I've commented a lot. I'm the person whose photos were stolen a few years ago. Oh, that's horrible. Because once they've been stolen, I guess they've been passing them round and just using them over and over again, have they? That's just... It does underline, doesn't it, that you have to be so careful about which photos you put online. Marcy says another scam page said that about the black magic. I agree, they don't work. Well, I think as I say, my belief is it works if you believe it's going to work. Africa every day, all spell and incantation are nonsense, can't be proven and tested. I'd agree with that, but belief is a powerful thing. If you believe that something is going to work, well, maybe it does sometimes. Eve says, I'm sad Serafina is retired. She was my favourite. I know, I like Serafina as well. There might be a Serafina Mark II. I could use the same name, can't I? Just set up another Facebook account. So I could even use the same email address. So I might restart her because I miss her. I miss lighting candles. And all my characters at the moment are confrontational. Well, no, they're not. I am. Oh, this is in 2015, 2016, says the dog mother. It went on for about a year. Oh, that must have been really horrible for you. You want to hear Johnson James again, Robot Boy. Oh, was he the one that kept saying, I want iTunes... I couldn't do his voice. He wants the iTunes card. Get me the iTunes card. Have you ever had a scammer threaten they will show up at your door to hurt you? I haven't, no, Greg. But I know that some do. I did. Right back at the beginning, there was one, wasn't there, when Annie, I can't remember who it was, when Annie, the original version of Annie, lived in Twickenham, didn't she, in southwest London with her elderly mother. And it was right at the beginning of lockdown. And he wanted to send her a parcel. And she gave him a fake address. And he contacted her and said that his boys couldn't find it. And then she gave him another address that was supposed to be her cousin, and he said he couldn't find that either. So there was somebody on the ground, I thought at the time, trying to find her. So you do have to be careful, because a lot of the scammers, of course, have colleagues, for want of better words, all around the world, in the UK, in the US, who they could send round to you. Where's Dark Knight gone? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps he's disappeared. Just looked, our guest still hasn't turned up. Who are the two people in the thumbnail? I have no idea. That was a stock photo, I'm afraid. I sent you an email about my photo. Oh! Right, was that a while ago, Dog Mother? I have to confess, I don't really remember. Isn't that awful? I have a brain like a sieve. Actually, it's worse than a sieve as I get older. Oh, I beg your pardon, Barmu. You mean that the thumbnail for the video? That was also a stock photo. It's not really Maria and her husband, but it just happened to be the right combination of a black man and a white lady. How do you get so many scammers to contact you? I want to waste their time too, and I'm bored. Oh dear, Andrea. Mainly by commenting. Oh, hi, Dark Knight. He's still here. Mainly by commenting on large public Facebook pages. That's because I do everything on the laptop. I don't get them on Instagram or anywhere like that. It's all through Facebook. And if you comment on CNN, the BBC, any large public Facebook page, they'll find you. And sometimes you comment and nothing happens, but other times when I first set up Flora, who I don't use very much, but I was researching for one of the books, she left some comments, and I literally just waited to see how long it would be before she started getting friends requests. And it was 8 hours. And then suddenly she was getting loads. And I haven't commented for weeks because they just, once you seem to be on the lists, you just keep getting friend requests. So they just come and come and come. And they will send, I suppose they have bots or something that do it, or maybe they just, I don't know how they do it, but I'll get, 3 or 4 of the characters will get friend requests from the same person. Thank you, Mark Sith John. Episode 10, I've just made episode 10 of him, and that was Flora, and he didn't contact her, she had to contact him. But I won't tell you why, you're going to have to wait for the video. Yeah, the biggest problem when my photos were stolen is when men were told the truth, they refused to believe that I wasn't involved with them. It was a nightmare. Now, that's an interesting comment, Dog Mother, because one of my characters is in a couple of scam groups, not groups for scammers, although there are a lot of scammers in there, but sort of groups for scam victims on Facebook, quite big open groups. And people will often post the photos of the people saying, this person has scammed me. And well, no, they haven't. That's just a stolen photo. You don't know who's scammed you. But people confuse reality, which I guess is how a lot of people get taken in. They buy into the fantasy almost. I don't understand the psychology, but it's people refuse to, because they are allowing themselves to be scammed, I guess. They refuse to accept that. They refuse to allow themselves to accept that the person they're talking to isn't the person they're looking at. We're all okay except Andrew, who's bored. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do my song and dance routine. And if anyone's joined recently, the reason you've got me just babbling on is because I'm afraid our guest hasn't turned up, and she still hasn't. I'm hopeful that she may just have got the time wrong, and she may turn up because she's really, really interesting. I've had 2 or 3 really long talks with her, and she's really interesting, and I'm so sorry she can't come. But if she doesn't turn up, we'll try and get her on another time. I like the video where the very young scammer didn't speak English, only what he read off a paper in a sing-song voice. Yes, yeah, I think everybody liked that one, didn't they? He was, I mean, some of them are so funny, aren't they? I get so many on my phone, I have 2 different filters set up. Oh, I inherited this number from someone who apparently used it for a burner number, so I got a lot of Indian call centres for fake medication. Oh dear, Eve. How annoying. Oh, thank you, Balmu. Your videos are really quite good, informative and entertaining. That's the idea. I want them to be informative, and I use the humour as a way to draw people in, I suppose. It's the same way I used to teach. I was just a nutcase. You either liked me or you didn't. You know, you'd get some students going, oh, good, this is fun, and you'd get some going, can that stupid woman just shut up and teach me something? They have inappropriate relationships with photos. Sadly, Dogmother, actually, I guess that is what's happening, isn't it? Although people don't realise it. Yes, such an extravagant lifestyle and travel, cities, etc. But they don't know the difference between Washington State and Washington DC. That's not all they don't know, Arizona Lily. I've got one. Did you remember the one that thought that Rands had floated out to sea? Well, I was talking to one earlier today, I think he got blocked in the end, who told me he was in Rome, and that was also at sea. Doing just fine by yourself. Yeah, well, it's not the same though, is it? It's not what you came for. What is it they say? The show must go on. I can't do my song and dance routine because I can't dance. And we've run out of questions, and I can't show you the cat because she's fast asleep over there. Yeah, she doesn't want to join in tonight. It's been raining, she doesn't like it when it rains. Oh, they believe pirates and sailors. To some say there's pirates who stole from them. I had one, hang on, let's see if I can find it, because I've just made the video, but believe it or not, I'm almost 2 months ahead with my uploads, which is very deliberate because I'm going to be moving in October. So there'll be several weeks when I shall be missing in action because I'll have other things on my mind. But I was talking to one, hang on, let's see if I can find it because I don't think you can see this. So actually, if I can find it, I'll show it to you. Oh, better still, let's see if I can get the bit of the video that I was making and play it to you. Oh, that would be fun. Hang on. So I was talking to one today that was worried about pirates. Well, I was making the video about him. He was worried about pirates. And nothing opens up quickly, does it, when you're, you know, it's like trying to remember something when you're talking to someone on the phone. You remember it as soon as you put the phone down. I love your voice accent. I'm from America. You're so cool. Oh, do you know what? Many years ago, about years ago, not long after I left university, I went to stay with a friend who lived in Florida. And I remember people used to tap me on the shoulder when I was on the bus and say, oh, I love your accent. Are you from England? Come on, open sesame. Now all I've got to do is remember what he was called. Was it him? I've got my video editing software open now. I know you can't see it, but no, I think this is another. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, this is the one that was in Rome, which was at the sea. Oh, where's? Oh no, this is him. This is him. The same one. Hang on. Let's see if I can... Now, this is going to be a challenge. Let's see if I can play you this bit. Let's go back a bit. Let's go back a bit.
He said, "This is the photo of the rig platform."
Okay, hang on, wait a minute. Go backwards. And then I'm going to see if I can play you this bit of... This is a challenge. Can I navigate? Can I get Open Broadcasting System to do what I want it to do? Probably not. Let me just minimise that, because that had the guest's real name on it. And let me minimise, get rid of Discord. And let's see. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves, you know, the Perfume Addict will entertain you or something. Oh, hi Tagau, are you here? Yes, sorry, we've got a problem, I'm afraid, everyone, which is that our guest hasn't turned up. So I'm about to try and play you a bit of a video that I've been making about pirates. So if I turn myself off, oh, this might even work. And put that full screen and play it.
"I'm in Rome," he said. "And you know what they say about when in Rome?" "Oh," said Denise, "I thought you said you were an offshore contractor on a rig, but you're not at sea right now. You're in Rome, probably working in your company's offices." "I'm in the sea," he said. "This is the photo of the rig platform where I'm working on now." And he sent her a photo. "The sea in Rome," said Denise. "I guess Rome got flooded, probably because of global warming and climate change. It's located 120 kilometres north of the Libyan coast in the Mediterranean Sea and extends slightly into Italian territorial waters. I'm not always here on Facebook, due to the nature of the job as a contact abroad. Give me your Gmail so I can send you a message on Gmail Hangout, or give me your WhatsApp number so I can send you a message on WhatsApp." "Goodness me," said Denise. "Rome's been moved to the middle of the sea. Who knew? Are you saying most of Rome is in Libya now? Do the residents know?" And she gave him her email address. And in reply to saying, "Are you saying most of Rome is in Libya now?" he replied, "Yes. I can get you activated to unlimited loads without data. Give me your phone number." "I have no idea what that means," said Denise. "My number is 01483 365 298. There is no such number, guys.
I'll just stop that, because now I can't remember where the bit was about the pirates. So let's turn that off and turn that on. Okay, right, I'll just go looking for the bit about the pirates. Where have we gone? The bit about the pirates was... Oh, no, maybe that was a different video altogether. No, that was someone else. Oh. That was the one that was in Rome. Let's see if I can find the one that was with the pirates. Oh, now, who would that have been? I don't know, maybe it was him. No, don't think so. I've got 3 videos on the go here at the moment. Maybe it was him. Maybe I haven't even started making that video. That's the thought. Well, this one was raised as an orphan. Oh, wait a minute. And he was being monitored by security. Aren't they all? Oh, here we go. I think this is one, because he said, "We do experience pirates attacks." And then Denise said, after we decided what he actually... here we go. Right. Right.
sweetheart.
Okay, right. This is going to be it. Hang on. Let me turn me off, the display on, and make that larger. Right. Here come the pirates. Ooh, me hearties.
I'm fine, thanks, she said. Have you been attacked by any pirates recently? Do they fly a flag with a skull and crossbones on so you can see them coming? I pray I don't get attacked, he said. No, I haven't been attacked, but the way they dress, just like the way you described. I didn't describe how they dress, said Denise. Just the flag their ship flies. How do they dress? Black on black wearing. And that same described flag. Oh, okay, said Denise.
So somebody's definitely been watching too much of Pirates of the Caribbean there, I would say. Yes, the pirates attacking and they get on their cell phones asking for dollars. Yes. You love the... Sorry, going back a bit. Love the Dector holes and the cans. Oh, he was so funny, wasn't he, Dog Mother? I wish he'd kept going, but I just got so fed up with him towards the end. He really was a total dingbat, wasn't he? Do any of the Francophone African countries try to scam people in France? I don't know for certain, but I would guess so. I get quite a lot that start off in Spanish. My Spanish doesn't go much beyond hola, so they don't get anywhere. But bearing in mind that they're mostly using copy and paste paragraphs, I guess they can scam in any language because you just throw it into Google Translate, don't you? Given that most of it starts as gobbledygook, by the time it's been translated, it's probably quite funny. Don't you hate it just before you go to bed and an idea pops into your head? Yes. Many, many, many years ago when I was at university, because I really do have a brain like a sieve and always have done, I had a notepad on the desk at the end of my bed. So if I thought of something before I went to bed, I used to write it down. Now I live with forgetting it. In the Atlantic around Florida, there are pirates who ambush drug smugglers. Indeed, there are. So I don't imagine they're flying the skull and crossbones on their ship so that everybody can see that they're coming. Do you know what, Marcia? Going back to, I think I said, didn't I, just a little bit earlier, that years ago, I went to visit an old university friend who lived in Florida. And I remember their house looked west. What's that? What bay is that? And there was more activity in the bay at night than there was during the day, and I remember them saying to me that's very likely the drug smugglers at night. Hello, Scandals Undercover. You almost missed it. Well, in a way you have missed it, because unfortunately our guest hasn't turned up. Well, let me just have a look and see if she has. No, she's still not here. I was hoping she might have been like half an hour out. I did say to her that I would call her 15 to 20 minutes before we started. So if she was an hour wrong, still possible she might come on. But there are a few scammers from my country as well, Peru. Yes, Andrea, I have actually had a couple that contact me and said they've been from Peru. But so far it hasn't gone anywhere. I think I might have one on the go at the moment. You've no idea how hard I try to find scammers from other countries, but it just seems to me that every country has their own particular type of scam, and I guess once someone has found a type of scam that works, they pass it to their fellow scammers. And so I get a lot from India and places like that, who invariably tell me that they work in a children's home and are just begging for money. Where else have I had them from? I don't think anywhere else recently. I used to get ideas for scam baiting. The sad thing is the ideas that a group of scam baiters can pull off. If you're not, I expect you're in, what's it called? Scambaitingforum.com, Scambaiter Sasquatch, because there are a lot of people in there. Hop on, it's scambaitingforum.com. Mr. Pricky promotes it on most of his streams. Hop on there and you'll probably find some people that will join with you and help you. I find it's the other way around. I had somebody the other day said they'd be interested in helping me by talking in a Nigerian accent, but it's really hard because of the kind of way I've developed of working. It's really hard to get anyone else involved. I have tried, especially with Mark Sith John. I'm in a little group or Annie is in a little group, just a chat group on Facebook where there's just 4 of us in it. And one of the ladies on there really wanted to get involved. She does appear on another scam baiting channel, so she was going to use a different name. But she only does telephone scam baiting, and I could not get him to give me a number. We tried, but I just couldn't get it. With your limitations, you can't pull it off either. Well, don't have a downer on yourself, scam baiter. Work out a plan and then hop on scambaitingforum.com and see if anyone else wants to get involved. You never know. What else can I tell you in the absence of my guest who still hasn't appeared? I don't think she's coming. So, has anyone else got any other questions? Or have you had enough of me babbling on and you'd like to go about your Saturday night or afternoon in peace? I know what would be fun. Tell me where you're from. You don't have to tell me your town, but which country are you all from? Where's everybody listening from, viewing from? Obviously, I'm in England, and in October I shall be moving further south in England, from a very rural area to a sort of semi-rural area, let's say. So, where's everybody else from? I'm getting all sorts of warnings now from YouTube Studio about the quality of the video, and I'm sorry, there is nothing I can do about that. The irony of it is that literally a week ago I got a letter from our local high-speed broadband project saying you've been identified as one of the 3% of houses in your county that doesn't have high-speed broadband, and so we've got this project going to bring it to you. And I thought, well, that's a bit late because I'm moving. USA, Kentucky, New York, West Virginia, San Francisco, Bay Area, California, Derbyshire. But a UK viewer. UK. I suppose it's the wrong time of the day, isn't it, for kind of like Australian or New Zealand viewers. UK, South East. Nigeria, yes, Africa every day. North Wales. Western Pennsylvania. There's a Pennsylvania just near Bath, isn't there, in the UK? Which I think is probably what your Pennsylvania is named after. Currently in Aberdeen, looking to move in August. Arkansas. Did I say that right, Cynthia? New York. Near London. Says Perfume Addict. Oh yes, UK South East, near London. Well, I used to live in the South East, because it's not giving the game away, is it? I used to live in Guildford, which is where Denise lives, which is why she can wax so lyrical about Guildford. Was it just buffering there? It was buffering on my screen. near London, New York. And now I've got a warning about the resolution again. And my guest still isn't here. So I think, unless anyone's got any other questions, we'll probably just call it a day. Because I'm sure you don't want to just sit here listening to me babbling on inanely. You do that 3 times a week when I... Please do this more often. What you mean, not have a guest? I do from time... Oh, Syria! And now live in New Haven. Is that Connecticut? Yes, I do say that from time to time I'll do more impromptu lives, don't I? Especially if I've got some good scammers on. Actually, let's have a look. Let's see if we have got any good scammers on the go this evening. I don't think we have. But let's just see. Denise has been the one that's been in demand for the last few days. Let me just see whether Denise has got any messages to answer. Because she got fed up with them this morning and told them all that her son and her grandsons were coming round. It is Connecticut, oh good. It's Guildford with a D, dog mother. Oh, she has got a couple of messages. Let's see what they are. And see whether the people that have sent them are online. One was a missed call, which I didn't want to answer because I was setting up the stream and I didn't have the recording software set up. And the other one says, "What are your plans for the rest of the day? And what time is it there?" Hang on, let's see if I can show you this. So I need to turn that on, turn that off, and now I think you can see Mr. Dabrowski, who unfortunately I can't cover those photos because obviously they're all stolen. And he says, "What are your plans for the rest of the day? And what time is it there?" It's oh, we didn't say leave that. Well, it's nearly 10 to 9, and I'm watching a live stream on YouTube. And you're on it, mate. But he's probably not going to... Oh, yes, he is. Oh, hang on, here he comes. If he calls, we're not answering him. Oh, he says, "What are you watching? What am I watching? What am I watching? Oh, what shall I say I'm watching? Because I can't tell him what we're watching, can I? Or should I? Oh, I could tell him we're watching Scam Rate Central, couldn't I? Will Mr. Pricky be a bit offended, do you think, if I don't ask him first? Perhaps I shouldn't say that. Oh, I could say... I know. I'll say I'm watching Pierogi. I don't know if he's on or not. I'm watching someone talking to a fake call centre about a refund scam. How about that? Africa every day is talking to Scam Beta Sasquatch. Does that mean romance scamming will never end? I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. Oh, are those your kind of shows? He says. Well, my friend Barbara told me about it. she likes them. I haven't watched before. Ubiquitous friend of Denise called Barbara. Dogmother says, we stayed in Manchester, England when we first left Syria. I like that city. Cooking with Grace, cookery shows. Yes, it has been a good day on Scambait Central, hasn't it, Perfume Addict? And I haven't watched him for a few weeks. I know what Denise is going to say now. We had a talk at, if you've read the book, you'll know this, at our local women's, and if you haven't read the book, why not? At our local Women's Institute about telephone scammers who try to access your computer. I always put the phone down now. And I bet he comes back and tells her you can't be careful enough online. Oh yes, maybe a vote on what video Perfume Addict does next. Now that's a good idea. Yes, here we are. This is exactly what he said. Don't pick their calls. Perfume Addict wants to make some follow-up videos to the interview that she did last week, and she's thinking of doing videos on specific topics. Perfume Addict, could you put a little list of topics, maybe, however many you want, 4 or 5, and then people can tell us which ones they would like to hear? You need to be wary, I think he means wary, of those telephone scammers, definitely. Oh yes. Oh yes. I am. They can't access my computer. I've only got an iPad. I know, I've gone quiet. What's he said? Oh good, I'm actually old-fashioned, are you? Oh, of course I am, I'm 75, darling. Of course I am. The reason I went quiet was because I was reading the chat, but I realised that's very boring for you. I'm 75, darling. Now, what's he going to say? Age is just a number. No? Ha ha, I know, hun. Another turn. Hun. Honey. Darling. I'm not really tech savvy, LOL. Yeah, right. Actually, some of them aren't. Oh, right, here you are. Perfume Addict has just given us her list of videos she could make. Cohesive control, the wheel, boundaries, red flags, stages of domestic abuse, and domestic abuse covers this online abuse that happens, gaslighting, and blame shifting. I'll read that out to you again and then we'll answer our man here. cohesive control, the wheel, boundaries, red flags, stages of domestic abuse, gaslighting, and blame shifting. Would anyone like to say which of those they'd like her to cover first? Meanwhile, how many kids do you have? I actually don't have kids. Well, Denise has got. I have 2 children and 4 grandchildren. Oh, don't give them too many choices, perfume addict. We'll never we'll never get them to agree. How childhood experience affects you, and what are narcissistic, I imagine she means traits, signs, tendencies, I don't know. I hate bullies. Yes, it's all about control, absolutely. What's gaslighting? Go on, perfume addict, what's gaslighting? And do they stay with you? And I never just answer them for this one. I always say, my son lives in Godalming with his family, and my daughter lives in Brighton with her family. They sometimes come and stay for a few days, but not very often. This perfume addict's going to tell you what gaslighting is in a minute or two. I've never been married, but I did have a partner who happened to be my high school sweetheart, and we lived together prior to the passing away in 2001. And I'm doing all the hand actions again, and you can't see because I'm not showing you the camera. We never had kids though. Ah. Hang on, can I overlay the camera and then you can see me as well? Oh, that's a challenge, isn't it? There you go. Should make myself not quite so scarily large. Put myself down there. And then go. Oh no, that's interesting. I don't know whether you can see me or not because I can't. We'll wait a minute or two and see what appears on YouTube. Oh, good. Sorry, I apologise for the delay. There's a huge delay between me doing something and then it reappearing in YouTube Studio for me to see what's actually happened. So you can now see me over the top of what he's saying. Oh, that's interesting. So if I do all the hand actions, you'll be able to see them. So Perfume Addicts has just explained that gaslighting is when someone does mind games to make you feel mad. It's after a film called Gaslight in the 1940s, where a husband turns down gaslights and tells his wife he hasn't. Good film to watch? Oh, I see. Turns down gaslights and tells his wife he hasn't. It's a good film to watch. Okay, I see. Right. I suppose we should say something, shouldn't we? Oh dear. That's very sad. This is really about as exciting as watching paint dry, isn't it? Maybe not. Yes, it is. Oh, how sad. Life is very short. Oh, you can't see the hand actions because the camera's... Oh no, hang on. I don't know what you can see. Life is very short. How sad. And now I've got another warning telling me that my video resolution isn't optimal. Oh, sorry about that. You're a great scam baiter, keep up the good work. I'm not sure whether that's for me, in which case thank you very much, or whether you're talking to scam baiter Sasquatch, in which case I'll say thank you very much on his behalf. Life is very short. What's Denise going to say to that? What can we say? Are you going to come and say something, are you, pussycat? I don't think you're going to fit on. Come and say hello. You're not going to get around the monitor, are you? No, without me rearranging the furniture, I don't think the cat's going to make an appearance. She's kind of over there. Can you come round here? You're going to come here? Sophie? Come here. Sophie? Don't ignore me. You're going to come here. Oi. No, apparently not. You're just ignoring me now, are you? Because you couldn't get through. Come here. Come and say hello. Give them a bit of entertainment. No? Okay. Well, she's not going to. Life is very short. If you say so. I don't think he's going to say anything interesting, is he? Oh, thank you, Gary. Okay, I think, realistically, that's enough of me babbling on about not a lot. So, I'll just turn the display off, and I'll just triple check that our guest hasn't reappeared while we've been away, which she hasn't. So sorry about that. That's really, really, really sad, because she is very interesting. So I'll just stick myself up there, look. There you go. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to say good night all. Thank you ever so much for coming, and huge apologies that Maria didn't turn up. I'm sure she's got a really good reason for not turning up, because she was around earlier on today. So hopefully we can get her on another time, because she is very interesting. She's got a lot to say, and I don't want to say it for her. So it's shorter when you're 75 and you have to decide who to leave your millions to. Oh, do you know what, dog mother? What a good idea. Hang on. Hang on. If you say so. Okay, I'm going to say exactly that. It does seem shorter at my age. I'm just about to write a new will and decide who to leave all my money, which I can't spell, money, I know you can't see this, my money to. Oh, I'll turn him back on for you. Oh no, leave that on, turn that on, and go back to him. Let's see what he says. Wish more people could love themselves. That's a very good point, Africa Every Day, isn't it? Let's see what he's got to say. I bet he doesn't take the bait. In episode 10 of Mark Sith John, which I'm not going to give the game away. No, he doesn't take the bait at all. Well, I'm not going to give the game away, where Flora contacted him She gave him so many opportunities to take the bait, but he's just too thick to see what she was saying. How about your kids? Myself, since I don't have kids, there are some little charities I usually donate to yearly in third world countries with little running water or food for the kids. I feel they need it more. I also have thought that I might give it all to them. Yes. Oh, I know what we're going to say, because we haven't had one of these for a while. We're going to say, perhaps you should set up an orphanage. Perhaps you should set up an orphanage. Oh, it was buffering again there. RJ Bro, is that aimed at me? Do you have more than one computer? I have one computer, but I have two monitors on the go, which is why I keep looking away from you, because the comments, YouTube Studio is over there, and Open Broadcasting System is over here. If I ever get lots and lots of money, I'm going to get one of. I need lots and lots of subscribers. I'm going to get one of those nice long curved monitors where you can put everything side by side, but I need lots more subscribers to afford to do that. So come on guys, just get all your friends to subscribe and watch the videos. Oh, well, there you go. There's a lazy one. That seems like a whole lot of work. Patricia says, Mark Sith just cracks me up. Yes, he's, if you know about him, which obviously you do if you're watching the channel and you know he's a bullying scammer, he's hysterical. But clearly not everybody thinks he's hysterical. But that one the other day with the deck to holes and the cans, what was his name? Harry Conti. He's takes a lot of beating. I think at the end of this year we're going to have an Oscars ceremony, aren't we, for the funniest scammer, the worst scammer, the you can all nominate the most unlikely scammer, the most unbelievable story, whatever. Well, I think the most unbelievable story was probably the one that told me he was the nation's highest army officer. What was it? The nation's most senior army officer. And then when I accused him of not writing proper English, told me I haven't got time to write a proper English. So I told him he was being disrespectful, and that if he could write proper English to the president, he could write it to me. Deck to holes was the best. He was good, wasn't he, Harry Conti? That seems like a whole lot of work. That seems rather lazy to me. If you want to do good works, you should be prepared to put in the hard graft. I bet he doesn't even know what that means. Worst scammer parent. Oh yes, definitely yes. It will, Richard Podner, it will. There'll be some stiff competition, but we're up to the job. We can do it. The most boring, the most thick, the funniest, yes. Have you ever been contacted by a British scammer? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so, although I was saying earlier on that there was one that the most geographically challenged, there'd be strong competition for that. Yes. I was saying earlier on, wasn't I? Maybe you weren't here, Greg, that, back at the beginning of last year, and I honestly don't remember which scammer it was, there was one that was trying to send a parcel to the original version of Annie, who lived in Twickenham with her elderly mother, and clearly had someone on the ground trying to find the addresses that she was giving him. The folks at the centre voted Muth as the Muth! Our old friend Muff? No. He was certainly one of the most persistent. He went on, he just kept coming back and back and back and back. And back. There was two, wasn't there? Muff Morris and what was the other one that kept going for ages? Oh dear, can't remember his name. Isn't that awful? Yeah, because one of the things you're saying in jest, they're all pretty thick. One of the things that I was going to discuss with Maria was the quality of the education system in Nigeria, which she was saying that somebody that she knows runs a private school, and she was horrified at how low the education standards were. So I suspect that there is. Oh, thank you very much, Richard. That's very kind of you. I suspect that one of the reasons that so many of them appear to be so thick is partly because I guess that the less able, let's say, students are more likely to drop out from school. That's an international thing, isn't it? And if you can make money from scamming, well, why wouldn't you, to be honest? And that doesn't mean that I condone it, but, you know, if your pals are doing it and you're struggling in school and you don't want to be there, you can get money not being in school. And, you know, if the education system is not as good as it should be, then what's your incentive to stay? And what's the incentive for the education system to cater for students with more educational challenges? I don't know. That would be very interesting if we've got anybody from Nigeria on here who would like to come on and talk to us about the Nigerian education system. That could be very interesting, because I was thinking the other day that traditionally education has always been seen as the way out of poverty, but it seems to me that at the moment that's not necessarily the way it's seen. We're rooting for you and all your girls. Oh, the girls are all here tonight. They're just being, apart from Danae's, they're all being quiet. One of the best was the engineer who was building a road under the ocean. That's right, yes. Who was that? I can't remember what his name was. Please buy Anya. That's all right. She's got a glass of water. It is water, honestly. But thank you, Perfume Addict. Okay, well, I think you've had an hour of me babbling on, haven't you? I think you can all go about your lives now. Oh, look, here you are. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute, guys. Our man wants to call us. Hang on, this could be interesting. Now, we can't do a video call because I don't know that the video recording software will load at the same time. No, it won't, because I won't be able to use the camera. So he's going to have to audio call us. So I'll say, yes, of course you can. Oh no, wait a minute. Am I being dim? Let's just see if I can load up the recording software as well. So, yes, of course you can. And then we'll start the recording software. This is how I do it, guys. And then we'll see if he calls. But he can't do a video call because the camera's in use. because you've got it. So if he asks, I'll say her hair's in curlers because she's just had a shower and she's taken her teeth out. Moreover, I do remember English isn't my first language but Latvian. Well, we'll see what his Latvian accent is like. Maybe we've got a Latvian scammer here. That's okay. Oh, thank you, Patricia. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Is he actually going to call? Come on, mate. You've got 35 people want to listen to you. Oh, goodbye, Andrea. Enjoy your lunch. We won't ask you what you're having for lunch. Is he going to call? Come on. You have a Latvian friend. Oh, well, you can tell us if he's got a Latvian accent, Audrey, if he ever actually calls. Come on. You've got a whole audience waiting for you. Ah, and now the video's buffering again. Oh, link for the cup of tea. Hang on. That might not be so easy. Just a second. Let me just go and find it. Oh, my hideable taskbar has now decided not to unhide itself. How annoying! Come back. Thank you. What am I after? Now I can't remember what it was I was after. The buy me a cuppa link. Hang on. I know what I need to do. I need to come over here. Okay, so I may be able to. So I'm talking to myself in case you hadn't realised, because I've got the browser that the Buy Me a Cuppa link is on is over there on the other screen. Just go into YouTube Studio, and meanwhile I can turn the display capture back on, and if my hideable taskbar will unhide itself, doesn't want to. Come on, thank you. We can bring him back just in case he does decide to call. Okay, let me just over here find the link for Buy Me a Coffee. Nothing ever loads up quickly when you want it to, does it? Nothing's ever fast. And Buy Me a Coffee, here we go. Right, come back to here. There it is. But I don't think he's going to call, is he? In fact, he's disappeared. Look, it says active 4 minutes ago. We could try calling him, see whether he answers. Let's try. Because we can just do an audio call then. I don't expect him to answer, unfortunately. Perfume Addict says she's done it. Congratulations. I'm just not quite sure what you've done, Perfume Addict. No, he's not going to answer us, is he? The rat's disappeared just as his audience was ready. Oh, okay. No, he's not going to answer us. You rat. Oh well. I expect his mum called him for supper. Oh, Perfume Addict. Are you saying you bought me a cuppa? In which case, thank you very much. I think that's what you're trying to say. Because I'm flitting between the two monitors, my brain's not taking in everything that's going on. I don't know how these streamers who, monitor the chat and talk and do it, I guess I'm not as good at multitasking as some of the others. That's probably what it is. I don't know. But anyway. Okay, guys. Well, I really don't think he's going to come back to us. So let's minimise that and bring back... Oh, come back, open broadcasting system. Oh, that's gone very weird. Take off the display, and then you should just see me against the seaside. He needs to go practice his fake accent, so he can't pick up. Yeah, that's probably it, Farry. He's probably wanted to do a video call and play one of those fake videos. I'd played me one earlier on today, and when it had finished, you could see the triangular play button on the screen. But, they're not very good at that, are they? Okay. Thank you, Dog Mother. I really am going to end it now. So, oh, hang on. I say I really am going to end it all. How many times have I said that? Because here comes our man. Give me about 10 minutes, darling. I'm in a quick meeting with my business workers. Sorry. Which means I'm trying to find my mate who speaks English. Do you want to stick around for 10 minutes, guys? Do you really want to stick around for 10 minutes? You got scared? Yes. Or is Danae's going to go to bed? What's the time? What's up, us? We've been on for nearly an hour and a half. I'll say okay anyway. Okay. I'll go and make a cup of tea. Actually, that sounds like a really good idea. Yes, says Patricia. Do you really want to wait around for 10 minutes? Yes. Oh, okay. Right. That means I can't go and make a cup of tea, doesn't it? Unless you talk to yourselves while I go and put the kettle on. My business workers. Yeah. Oh, wait for him. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll wait and see whether he calls. And you can't see that conversation anyway, can you? Because my hide of... Come on, Mr. Taskbar. I set the taskbar to auto-hide and it's gone very shy. And doesn't want to un-auto-hide. Come on, you can do it. There you go. What was I going to do? I was going to go on here. And I was going to turn the display capture back on. And then... bring our man back. Okay, here he is. We're waiting. Stick around. This is your hobby. What, sticking around? Oh, that's a good one. Oh, do you know what? Denise might remember that for one of her hobbies. Have you noticed that every time I come up with a completely wacky hobby or interest, not one of them has ever picked any of my characters up on it. Not one, ever. There's my water. You can, and my interests are getting wackier and wackier, and they just launch into their they just launch into their own list. And what all my characters do now, you can all try this. Don't stop now. Twisted ankle badly a few days ago. Oh, ouch! And stuck on the sofa. So need this distraction from the ouchie. Yes. The one thing that I was told. Oh gosh, about 10 years ago now, I fell down the stairs and landed with a crack on my left ankle. And when I'd literally sort of picked myself up, I phoned a friend and said, "Can you take me to the hospital?" So we went to the local walk-in centre, who told me they thought I'd broken it and told me to go to the main hospital. So we rucked up at the main hospital, who x-rayed me and did all the normal things and told me I hadn't broken it, and gave me lots of instructions, including use frozen peas, and underneath it said do not eat the peas, but they as if you would, but they told me that you have to walk on it. And I I'll never forget it. It used to take me about half an hour to get out of bed in the morning because it was really painful, isn't it, Island Girl? But they insisted that I walked on it, so I kind of hobbled around till it got better. And then it was fine. But it's no fun. And I remember I went to stay with you don't need to know any of this, do you? I went to stay with my sister, who has 3 children, and her youngest kept saying my toes looked like, because I was wearing a one of those, what do they call them, 2 big rips to support it, with my little toes sticking out the end, and they looked like 5 little sausages that you should stick under the grill. And my sister's youngest kept saying, could he look, and my sister said, please don't show it to him because he'll throw up. So I didn't. But then her oldest, who was a girl, kept inviting all her friends from school round so that they could come and have a look. I've been watching a brilliant documentary from Gravesend Eleanor Hospice. Okay. Are we going to time him? Oh, it does say he's active. He's got a green thingy on the top. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. I don't think it'll let me use the camera even if he wants to. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. It's nice to speak to you.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Finally, we get to speak over the phone.
We do, don't we? Yes.
Sounds way better than texting.
It is, isn't it? It's always nice to speak to someone.
Yeah, you could attach your voice to yourselves.
Exactly, yes.
So how are you doing? How's the day been?
Oh, very well, thank you. It's nearly bedtime here, so I've just had my shower and I'm in my dressing gown.
Has it pushed the bedtime already? Am I disturbing you?
No, that's all right. I don't suppose I'll go to bed for another half an hour.
Oh, okay. So what's the weather like in England?
Oh, it's been very wet here today. It was very hot yesterday, and then today it's been very wet.
Oh, wow. I actually miss England, though, but I think I'll be coming back soon.
Oh, you're going to come back, are you? Do you know what, darling? It's because it's night time and my brain's addled because I'm an old lady. I can't remember where you said you are.
Yeah, I lived in Birmingham when I was in England.
I remember you said that, but where are you now?
Oh, right now I'm in the United States.
Oh, did you say you were in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Texas.
That's right. You said you were in Dallas, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. I'm in Texas.
Yeah.
So, but I think I'll be coming to England soon, though.
All right. Why are you? Why are you coming to England?
No, just to visit. Actually, I miss England.
All right.
I miss the people. I miss the people. I miss the weather. I miss the small roads. The roads in England are very small.
Well, I suppose they're smaller than they are in Dallas. I don't know. I've never been there.
Well, yeah, they're smaller. They are. They're quite small.
Well, depends where you are in England, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. So, where in England did you said you store again? It's Galderford. I don't know if I pronounced it well.
Guildford. It's southwest of London.
Oh, southwest of London. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know where that is. Is it close to Chelsea?
Chelsea's in London, darling.
I'm just trying to, because I've got no idea, so that's why I'm curious.
It's halfway between London and Portsmouth.
Oh, okay.
That's why it exists. Did you know that? Guildford exists because because it's halfway between London and Portsmouth, and it used to have lots of hotels back in the days when they had horses and carriages. Everybody stopped in Guildford because it was halfway, so you stayed the night and you rested your horses.
Oh, wow. Well, that sounds good. Is it more like it's a kind of area where you've got tons of farmlands?
Oh yeah, so Guildford's surrounded by countryside, yes.
Oh, it's by the countryside.
Well, it's surrounded by countryside. The centre of Guildford isn't countryside, no.
Oh, so I suppose you're a country girl then.
Oh no, I've always lived in Guildford.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. So I remember you said you've been to the United States, right? You've been to the United States before.
Yeah, that's right. I've been to Florida and I've been to Alaska.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I went with my late husband on a cruise to Alaska probably about 20 years ago. It was lovely.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true, though. That's true. I'm so sorry about your late husband's passing, though. You said it's been 10 years right now, right?
It is, yes. It's very sad. He was a lovely man, was my Albie.
Oh, and how long were you married for?
Oh, we were married for almost 50 years, I think. I was 18.
Wow.
Well, I was 18 when I met him.
Oh, wow. I bet you miss him.
Of course I miss him. He was a lovely man.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know what it feels like losing someone special, because I also lost my partner.
Oh dear, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I know. I just feel life is really what you tend to make out of it.
Yes, it is, darling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, darling. It's just the world we live in right now, and moreover, life is very short. That's why I always try to enjoy every day to the fullest.
Yeah, well, it's even shorter when you get to my age, darling.
Well, I know. For me, age is just a number. Do you have a problem that you're older than I am, though? Because I don't have a problem, though.
Oh, well, that's nice. I can't remember how old you said you were, darling.
Oh, I'm actually 65. I'm going to be 66 in July.
All right. Oh, happy birthday coming up, then.
Yeah. So, as more like you don't date younger guys, because for me, I feel age is just a number, though. I'm just saying.
Well, if you say so, I always say age is years of experience, darling.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So, did you say that you were expecting to go on another job soon?
Yeah, probably. Right now, I'm between trying to bid for a contract, and I'm hoping I get approved. So if I do get approved, then I would have to go on the ocean, to go get things done.
To where? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I said, right now, currently, I'm trying to bid for a contract, so I'm hoping I do get approved. If I get approved, I'm gonna go get the job done.
Oh, right.
And and once I get the job done, that's it. I'm all retired. I don't have to work again.
And what's that job gonna be?
It's gonna be on the ocean. We're gonna be drilling for oil from the ocean.
And how long's the contract going to last?
Oh no, it's not. It's not gonna last long. Just for about a couple of weeks. That's all.
For a couple of weeks? I wouldn't think that's even long enough for you to get to know the job, is it?
No, well, I've been doing this now for the past 5 years. So once I get approved for a job, I know what to do.
All right.
My job basically is just to manage the contracts, give situation reports to the investors, and also manage the equipment. So that's basically what my role is.
All right.
How about you? You'd say you were retired. What was the job all about when you still work?
I was an accountant. I ran my own business with my husband. I was a qualified accountant and he was very good with numbers and figures, so he did the bookkeeping.
Oh,
So if clients wanted us to submit their accounts to the Inland Revenue, my Albie would do the bookkeeping if they didn't want to do it themselves or they didn't have an accountant, or should I say a bookkeeper, employ a bookkeeper to do it for themselves. And then I used to actually do the accounts and make the submissions to the Inland Revenue for them and work out their tax, how much tax they had to pay, and kept up to date with what allowances they could claim, which changed every year. It was really annoying. You just thought you knew what they could claim and they changed it.
oh wow. Well, I bet you're quite smart then, since you're good with numbers.
Well, I have my moments, my brain's getting a bit old now.
Well, it's normal. We're not gonna be young forever.
Well, that's true. That is very true.
I know the long run for me, I feel like age is just a number because I know I'm 66, but I still feel like I'm in my 20s. I think I'd say I'm young at heart.
All right, well, that's nice to hear, darling. You obviously don't have 2 children and 4 grandchildren like I do. Makes you feel old, when they go, "Oh, Granny."
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, I just think it just depends. It depends on the individual and it depends on the person. How old are your kids?
My son's 50 and my daughter's 48.
Okay. Oh well, that's understandable.
And my oldest grandchild is 22 and the youngest is 14.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. So what do you enjoy doing? You said you were watching a show on YouTube.
I was, yes, it's finished now.
What was it about? You said it's about some scammer trying to call you over the phone about some.
Yeah, those people that phone you and tell you that there's either something wrong with your computer or that that you haven't paid your taxes and you're about to be arrested.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's horrible, isn't it? Why do people do that? I don't know.
I don't know. That's just so sad.
It's just stealing from people, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know why people do that. We live in a crazy world right now.
We do, yes.
I remember you said at times you get messages from men on Facebook, and you said most of them don't even know how to hold a proper conversation. What's that all about?
I don't know, you tell me. I've had several friend requests just recently from people who all they want to do is ask me what's my favourite colour and ask me whether I've eaten.
Wow, that sounds weird. Well, I don't know. Just the way we talk, just me and you, it feels like I've known you forever.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, darling.
I don't know. We just happen to have a very smooth conversation.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I was actually the other time I was talking about football. I said it was more like a culture thing in England. I knew most people actually love football in England, though.
Oh, I think
you said you don't. You said you don't, right?
I don't. I'm not interested in football. It's just half a dozen men kicking a ball round a field, isn't it?
Well, that's true. So what have you always been interested in? What do you enjoy doing?
What do I enjoy doing? Well, I spend a lot of time in my garden. I do my puzzle books. I do my knitting.
Oh, that's awesome.
I go and visit my friends. I'm in the
you
WI.
Okay. Oh wow.
There always seems
Well,
to be
that's
something to
cool.
do, keep the house clean.
Oh. Well, hopefully we gotta meet maybe someday once I get done with my job and I'm retired. Maybe we could go on a trip or something. Go on a vacation.
Well, you did say you were going to come to England fairly soon, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna come to England, and um, I'm gonna come to England. And one of the things in my bucket list, once I get retired, I want to see more countries. How many countries have you been to? How many countries have you traveled to?
Oh, not that many. Well, I've been to the States, haven't I? We went to Spain when the kids were small. Um, we we did a couple of day trips to France. Um, oh, I can't remember. I don't remember going anywhere else. My Albie didn't really like flying.
Oh, and I guess you don't mind flying.
I don't mind flying, no, but Albie didn't like it. It used to make his ears hurt.
Oh, well, there are actually tons of places. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy.
All right, well, you must have
But
travelled a lot with your work, I suppose, have you?
yeah, I've actually been to tons of places, but I still want to see more places. And one of the things on my bucket list, I'd love to see Africa. I'm quite curious to know what it looks like there.
Oh, where in Africa? We
I
could
don't
go.
know for sure. I just want to see the safari. Maybe we could go together.
Oh, that would be fun. What, you mean go and see giraffes and elephants and things?
Yeah, I just tend to hear so many stories about what happens there, but I'd love to see it firsthand and what it looks like there. And
Yeah.
I also heard they've got very beautiful sunshine.
Oh, yeah, they do say that African sunsets are amazing, don't they?
Yeah, that's what they said. It's unlike Europe and America, whereas the winters are very crazy.
Yeah.
So do you prefer winters or summers?
Oh, well, I don't like it when it's cold and damp because it makes my knees hurt. And I don't like it when it's too hot because it gives me an headache.
Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, we could maybe go to Africa. We could go to Africa together. When was the last time you traveled outside the UK?
Oh, goodness me. Um, well, I think probably when we went to Alaska.
And that's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, yes.
Oh wow. Well, we could take a trip to Africa or something, or maybe Asia. I'd also love to see some places in Asia. You've just got to check if you've got a valid passport though. Since you said it's been like forever you traveled outside the UK.
Oh, it probably expired. I'd probably need to get a new one, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I think that's way better.
Yeah.
That's way better actually.
I don't know how long
No,
it takes to get a passport. It often takes a few months, but when do you think you'll be
no.
coming to England?
Once I'm gonna be knowing the outcome of those job I said I'm trying to beat for.
Right.
I'm gonna know the outcome on Tuesday if I get approved or not. If
Okay.
I do not, let's say in the worst case scenario, I did not get approved. That's it. Still, I'm still gonna get retired. I don't have to work again. Like I said, I've done pretty well for myself financially. You know, but let's say I do get approved for the job, then I'm gonna be traveling. I really don't know where the job's location is gonna be at, but I think it's gonna be in Dublin. It's gonna be in Ireland, probably one of the oil rigs in Ireland.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'll just go get the job done. But nothing changes most of the time, even while I'm on the rig. We can still text and we can still talk just the way we're talking right now.
So that
So nothing.
they have oil rigs in Dublin, do they?
Yeah, they do. Especially there's an ocean somewhere. Like it depends on the investors. All they need is a permit, and they could drill for oil or something whatsoever. And like I said, it's just that I'll be retiring soon. Maybe I could have just taken you to an oil rig someday and just showed you what it looks like there.
Oh, that'd be very interesting. Yeah, I've never seen one.
Well, it is actually though. It's quite a fascinating job, even though it's quite risky, but it's really worth the pay. Being on an ocean, anything could happen. Like in a worst case scenario, it could maybe explode and there could be loss of lives. Like I don't know, maybe it catches fire or something. But that's a worst case scenario, though.
Oh, that would be very bad.
Yeah, that would be. But fortunately, for me, nothing like that's happened to me before. Over the 35 years I've been doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like you said, once I'll actually know. I'll know what my plans would be on Tuesday. So, though I'm just kind of keeping fingers crossed. Though, hopefully, I get approved.
Oh, okay.
Just seeing how things go.
Yeah.
But like I said, all of this will be over in the next couple of weeks' time.
Okay.
And if I do get approved, the job's going to be happening in Ireland.
Right.
And if I'm in Ireland already, I'm already on the UK shores.
That's very true, yes.
It's just going to be easier for me from Ireland actually coming to London.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sounds like a plan, actually. And like I said, I was even thinking about moving back to the UK because I actually kind of miss England, though. I miss England.
Well, I imagine it's very different from living in the States.
Yeah, it's way different.
Yeah.
With the United States, it gets crazy almost all the time with the gun violence always happening and so many crazy things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a crazy world we live in right now. I just think there's so many psychopaths.
I'm sure there are. Psychopaths and scammers. It's not a good world, is it, with all those psychopaths? I said psychopaths and scammers. It's not a good world, is it?
Yeah, it's not. It's not. I don't know why people do those kind of things to people. Just trying to rape people of their money, trying to call them and ask them for their computers or something.
Oh no, it's awful, isn't it? My friend Barbara, she said to me, you should never send money to anyone online.
Yeah, that's true.
And she's right, isn't she? You shouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. You should never believe when they call you over the phone or thereabouts,
Absolutely. Unless you know them, unless you know who they are, you shouldn't send them money, should you?
No, not at all.
No.
So you'd said you were thinking about rewriting your will or something. Why was that, though?
Rewriting my will because the last one that I wrote was years ago, before my youngest 2 grandchildren were born, and before my Albie died. And he left me all his money.
Oh, okay.
So I need to decide who to leave it to.
Well, that's true. That's true, actually. I'll just go try to get into a business meeting right now.
Okay.
Since it's late already.
Yes.
I guess when it's morning already, then I'm probably be going to sleep. But we're gonna work something out. We're gonna talk tomorrow morning, local England's time. Okay.
Okay.
But it's been so nice talking to you. It just feels like a very smooth conversation.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to speak to you.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Yeah, we're going to talk tomorrow then, okay?
Okay.
All right, good night and sweet dreams.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye for now.
Okay then, bye for now. Impressive Latvian accent there, I'm sure you'd agree, guys. Oh dear. Oh well. Do you think he's going to turn into a long-running saga? Because he does speak quite good English. Even if he is using a fake English accent. I think he might have got his story sorted out as well, except that he still why do they all think that a city like Dublin is at sea? Why don't they say, I shouldn't give the game away because we have no idea how many scammers are listening to this stream, but we know that they do. Why don't they say we're 50 miles off the coast of Dublin? Would make more sense. I did have one that told me he was, what did he say? 200 miles off the coast of Dublin, and I think that roughly put him in Leeds. I wasn't aware that they'd flooded Leeds, but it's amazing how many cities do seem to be flooding. No, he won't be back, says the dog mother. He will, I bet he is. We'll take a bet on that, dog mother, because I think he will be. He wants to be the beneficiary of what will. That's the plan. Did I fulfil your wish, Africa every day, if you're still here, by telling him that I shouldn't send money to people online? It's so weird with the delay between what I see when I see your comments and when I say something and when you hear me. So it's kind of like I'm waiting for the comments to catch up, but meanwhile you're getting like 30 seconds of nothing because nothing's happening. Yes, I know sometimes these scammers trying to sound English, says Shirley. I've had a few that do that, and I think it's the more experienced scammers and the ones... thanks, Africa every day. The more experienced scammers, the ones who speak better English. And dare I say this? The ones that are not quite so thick. But probably, sadly, the ones that are more successful as well. You remember the one who was in the city in the Gulf of Mexico? Absolutely, that was our friend Harry Conti, wasn't it? They paved the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, his English is good, Africa every day. Which is strange for a Latvian that claims not to speak English, but there you go. And considering he'd said that he doesn't speak very good English and is Latvian, why was he putting on a fake English accent? Couldn't he have managed a fake Eastern European one? Would have sounded more convincing, wouldn't it? But anyway, will my taskbar unhide? It will. So I can turn off the display now. And you just get me again. And a pretty photo of the seaside. I'm just going to work through my photo folder for backgrounds from now on. Okay, right. That really is it, because you've now had 10 hours. Told you my brain had gone. 2 hours of me burbling on, and it was buffering there. You've now had 2 hours of me burbling on, and if you're still here, you're mad. But quite clearly you are still here, so you're all nuts. You thought it was a fake US accent? No, Dog Mother, I think it was a fake English one. That's what I thought it was anyway. The Gulf of Mexico was a Dector hole, I think it was. Well, I think they were going to probably drill the Dector holes in the Gulf after they paved it. I don't know what that's going to do for global sea levels, but we'll find out, I suppose. Yeah, he wants to claim as a dependent, or will. Yeah, he wants to worm his way in. That's the plan. Okay, right. My cursor's now hovering over the button that says stop streaming. So I'm going to stop streaming. Thank you so much for coming. Huge apologies that the guest never turned up. But hopefully we can get her on another time. But I will do more of these just random lives, because actually it's quite fun. Once we get people on and we get the chat going, and you're all talking to each other, I can see that, which is good. So thanks for letting us see how flawlessly you do this work. Yeah, I think it's called practice, Richard. Discussing Plan B with his mates. Absolutely, that's exactly what he's doing. Yes. Had a little bit of a fake text. Well, maybe because it was a fake accent, maybe it was a sort of fake mid-Atlantic accent. Yeah, possibly. Okay, right. So I really am going now. So bye all. Thanks ever so much for coming. And next weekend, we've got a fellow scam baiter coming on. Whose name I've forgotten. She's not very helpful, is it? See, my brain's gone. It's too late. So next weekend we've got a fellow scam baiter coming on. So we'll see you again next Saturday. Meanwhile, bye. And I'm going to stop the stream now.